Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys a little bit of a different video today. I have a hot take, okay, and I kind of want to talk about it. So, the Denver Nuggets. This is a team that everybody seems to still be really, really high on, and I'm not sure why. This is a team that I don't think is going to be as good this upcoming year as they have been in prior years. I mean, if we look at the Denver Nuggets roster from this past season, they had Justin Holiday, Reggie Jackson, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. They lost a lot of guys. They still have Peyton Watson, who's okay. Zeke Naji is still on their roster. But the thing is, like, this is a team that's like, yeah, their starters are good, but the thing is, Denver's at a point where they're like a lot of teams in the past where you can only be on top for so long before you start losing pieces, right? This is a team that finished second in the West this past season with a 57-25 record. This was after they lost Bruce Brown, right? And now they've arguably lost their second best defensive player since Bruce Brown, right? Or arguably 1 and 2. They lost Bruce Brown, and now they lost Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And for whatever reason, I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but historically, okay, replacing Kentavious Caldwell-Pope with Russell Westbrook has not fucking worked anywhere. Okay, don't shoot the fucking messenger, but this has been tried before, and it worked out miserably for the fucking Lakers. Okay, I know Russell Westbrook is still a guy that everybody touts as like this fucking amazing player when he's not. He's just, even when at the top of his game, yes, he was a very good player, but he's a guy that I think needs the ball in his hands to be effective. Yes, in Los Angeles, that was like a special situation. Ty Lue knew how to use him. Mike Malone is getting Russell Westbrook. But the thing is, like, I don't know. Russell Westbrook, the only place he's been able to work has been the Los Angeles Clippers. He played for the Lakers, the Rockets, the Wizards. Okay, and it didn't work in any of those places. They all got rid of him. You know what I'm saying? And with the Lakers, it was horrendous. I mean, horrendous. It was a fucking horror story, okay? Then he goes to the Clippers, right? And the Clippers try him out. And they find a way to make it work, right? But the thing is, the Denver Nuggets are not a team that I feel is set up to let Russell Westbrook cook, all right? I look at this roster for the Denver Nuggets. Do you see how many rookies they're carrying? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rookies. Okay, 1, 2, 3 first-year players. That's 10 people. Like, these are all guys they're going into camp with, right? Granted, a lot of these rookies are not going to make the roster, but whenever you're in this position, they lost Reggie Jackson, who I think was a phenomenal player for them for what he did. They lost Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who is a huge loss. It's not just, oh, they lost a fucking role player. No, they lost the best role player they had. Okay? Yeah, they still have Christian Braun, who's good. They still have Zeke Naji. Okay? There's still some decent players on that bench. Yeah, they have DeAndre Jordan, Vlatko Kankar, if I said that correctly. I don't think this dude's been in the NBA for 4 years, and I have not seen him play any significant minutes. He's going to get significant minutes this upcoming year. They signed Dario Saric, big fucking whoop. He's a stretch big. They brought in Russell Westbrook. Okay, but the thing is, if I look at this roster, Hunter Tyson, Julian Strother, who I have yet to see what he's really going to be. They have Jalen Pickett on their team, who's a first-year player. Christian Braun's a second-year player who's a really good 6'6" guard. Peyton Watson, decent guy. Like I said, Vlatko Kankar, I have no idea. Like, he's a 6'8" forward. He's a power forward. I have yet to see what he's really capable of. Michael Porter Jr. is hit or miss. I mean, he's a volume shooter that, like, when he's on, but when he's cold, you know, he couldn't hit water if he was dropped into a fucking lake. Defensively, he's not that good. Even though he has all the physicals and all the physical attributes to be a good defender, he just simply isn't. Jamal Murray is a good player. Jokic is obviously good. Aaron Gordon's obviously good. DeAndre Jordan will be lucky if he sees the fucking floor. He'll see the floor in like crunch time. Russell Westbrook is going to be a complete wild card. Nobody knows what Russell Westbrook's going to be for Denver. And everybody else, it's like they're banking on one of these 6 rookies they got, or yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, one of these 7 rookies that they've drafted that is going to be good. I mean, they don't even really have a backup center, dog. I mean, they've got Dario Saric is going to be your backup center. You have DeAndre Jordan, who's been in the NBA 16 years, who barely sees the floor. I mean, they literally don't have anybody on their roster that's super crazy tall outside of Jokic. I mean, they do need a backup center, and DeAndre Jordan can maybe do that. I mean, even Deron Holmes, the rookie that they one of the rookies they drafted, He's got a torn right Achilles tendon. He's expected to miss the entire season. So now, instead of 7 rookies, we're dropping down to 6 rookies. I mean, this is a team that I have no faith in. I really think, like, yeah, they'll still be a good team, but finishing inside the top 4, I just don't think is going to happen. Even when it comes to rookies, I think the Memphis Grizzlies have better rookies than the Denver Nuggets do. Which they should. They had a horrible season last year. But I think this is the year that you see the Denver Nuggets really finally fall off a little bit. You know, they lost Bruce Brown. They fell to the 2nd seed instead of the 1st. Dallas got a lot better. Minnesota is ascending. Even Phoenix, they signed Tyus Jones and brought in Mike Budenholzer. We have yet to see what that's going to be. The Pelicans just traded for DeJounte Murray. You know, OKC is going to be back in the top 3. Like, your top 3 teams in the West at this point are Dallas, OKC, and Minnesota. And your 4 and 5 could be Denver, it could be Memphis, it could be Phoenix, it could be New Orleans. Like Denver is no longer a solidified, guaranteed top 3 seed in the West. And I need people to get this through their fucking heads. Because for whatever reason, they only lost Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Okay, well, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope was their best defensive player. So, you know, and this team has no size. They have not one 7-footer on the roster. They have 2 6'11" guys and 2 6'10" guys, and that's it. Everybody else is 6'9" or shorter. And most of their forwards, okay, are rookies. Most of their forwards are rookies that they're trying to bring to fill in that front court. Who is this? Deron Holmes, out for the entire season already. Okay? PJ Hall, Gabe McLaughlin, if I said that correctly. This guy played for Grand Canyon University in Missouri State, Southeast Missouri State. Yeah, okay. He's 6'7". Jalen Williams out of Auburn. Spencer Jones, 6'7" out of Stanford. They have Hunter Tyson, who's been on their roster for 1 year out of Clemson. Julian Strother, okay, who's 6'7", 1 year out of Gonzaga. Zeke Naji is supposedly a decent player, but they have Zeke Naji, okay? But the thing is, right, I look at this team and I go, they are not deep enough. Where the fuck are people getting the idea that Denver is still like a championship level team? Like, yeah, they still got Jokic, and yeah, so long as they have Jokic, they're probably going to be a top 5 seeded team. But I look at this and I go, that bench unit got significantly worse. Just saying, okay, yeah, you could make an argument that Russell Westbrook is better than Reggie Jackson, but there's also an argument that you can make that Russell Westbrook potentially could be just the same skill level player as Reggie Jackson at this point in his career. Russell Westbrook's not an overly great defender either. I mean, I look at this team and I think I have a feeling that Denver Nuggets fans are going to get a bit of a rude awakening. Like, they're still a top 6 seed, guaranteed. I think they're still like a top 6 seed, maybe even, I mean, it's questionable. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Michael Porter Jr. has one back issue this upcoming year and doesn't play much, this is a team that could finish 7 through 8. Maybe 6 through 8. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they'll be a play-in team. I don't think they're that bad. But I think the days of them being like a powerhouse in the West are officially gone. You know what I'm saying? I think people need to accept that at this point. That the Denver Nuggets are simply, yeah, they still have Nikola Jokic. He's still arguably an MVP level player. But, you know, one MVP level player can only take you so far. And when I see the moves that Dallas has made, when I see the moves the Pelicans have made, when I see the moves that even Phoenix has made, you know, they added Tyus Jones, like I said, they brought in a new head coach, Mike Budenholzer. They still have KD. They still have Devin Booker. They still have Grayson Allen. They still have Jusuf Nurkic. Like, yeah, do I think Phoenix is a super crazy team? No. Because they have depth issues. Same thing with the Denver Nuggets. I am putting the Denver Nuggets on the same par with the Phoenix Suns. Okay? That's not bad, but people need to get this delusions of grandeur out of their fucking head that Denver's still a top 3 seed in the West. I don't think that, especially with how good the East has gotten. They're going to have to play Philadelphia, who now has Joel Embiid, who is easily the person Jokic, I think, struggles the most against. Okay? They have Joel Embiid, they have Tyrese Maxey, and now they have Paul George. Okay, they still kept Kelly Oubre. They still have what the fuck, Reed. I can't think of what the fuck his name is at the moment, but it's just the idea, like, the NBA as a whole has gotten a lot better. You know, Boston is still a really good team. The Knicks just got better. I mean, like, the best teams got better in some instances. Even some of the teams that really weren't that great got a lot better. Dallas is a team that took a step forward. Who else? What's the one team in the West? Or not the one team in the West. The one team in the East. Orlando added the player that they lost. Orlando's a very good defensive team. Orlando is not a team that I look at and go, they're a championship contender, but they play defense and they have a lot of young guys that hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're a team that's like, yeah, they're not anything sexy, you know what I'm saying? But they have a lot of really good players. You know, same thing with the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets are not a team that's overtly sexy, but they play fucking defense, you know? And when I look at this Denver Nuggets team, I'm like, bro, I know people are like, oh, you know, they still have Jokic, they still got, you know, Jamal Murray, they still got Aaron Gordon, you know what I'm saying? Like, they still got MPJ, which MPJ is arguably overpaid like a motherfucker. He's a guy that the Denver Nuggets would probably love to get off of if they could for something else. But it's just the idea, like, I just have no faith in this team's bench at this. I just don't. Just because Russell Westbrook is historically getting rid of KCP and replacing him with Russell Westbrook in the past 4 years, no matter what team it is, has not worked. So, all I'm saying is, I think people need to expect the idea that the Denver Nuggets are going to take a step back. Losing Kentavious Caldwell-Pope was a huge deal for this team because he was... After Bruce Brown left, he was their best defender. And now that you lose Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and you lost Bruce Brown, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But defensively, the Denver Nuggets are going to take a serious step back. And the Orlando Magic, I think, took a serious step forward. Because if you look at the Orlando Magic, Jalen Suggs is very good. And you're going to put Jalen Suggs out there with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I mean, that's a good defensive duo. Jalen Suggs gets out on defense, man. Like, he locks down, and so does KCP. So, I know the KCP signing for Orlando wasn't super sexy. They did I mean, honestly, I don't know what... I'm just going to say this. I don't understand why the Denver Nuggets signed Russell Westbrook and didn't go after Markelle Fultz, who is still a free agent, who I think is better than Russell Westbrook. So... I don't know. I don't know what the Denver Nuggets are doing. The Denver Nuggets probably don't have any fucking cap space, which is probably the reason they didn't go after Markelle Fultz. But it's just the idea. I have no faith in it. Sorry, I don't. I think Memphis is better than them. I think Memphis is definitely better than the Denver Nuggets at this point. I don't even think that's a fucking question. Same with Phoenix, okay? I think Memphis this upcoming year will finish the season better than Denver, and they will be better than Phoenix. Even though Tyus Jones very, very good point guard. His assist ratio is like 7-1. So Tyus Jones is the point guard that Phoenix needs, but it's just the idea. A lot of people are writing Memphis off, and I don't know why. Memphis 2 years ago finished as a top 3 seed in the West, and they have 1 year where everybody on their roster is injured, and these guys are coming back this upcoming year, and for whatever reason, everybody thinks Memphis is a horrible fucking basketball team. Like, Jaren Jackson Jr. isn't a potential Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Like, Ja Morant isn't an MVP-level player when he's playing at his peak. You know, it's just, I don't know. I don't understand what people are smoking, but I think people are smoking something hard. But I look at this roster, man, and I have no faith. I mean, the idea that they're carrying 7 rookies into training camp should tell you something about the Denver Nuggets. They are officially in the realm of they have too much money locked up between their 3 or 4 best players, and they can't sign anybody else but league minimum guys to be on their bench unit, and they're going to pay the price for it. Dario Saric, great stretch big, you know what I'm saying? But he's not a guy that's great on defense. I mean, he shoots 30. This past year, he played 64 games, averaged 8 points, 4 rebounds, and about 2.5 assists. He shot 46.5% from 3, we'll call it, and almost 38% from 3. I'll give him the number. And 85% from the free throw line. Great stretch big. But defensively, the dude is a fucking liability. Okay? Defensively, he is just not a good player. And yeah, he's going to see a lot of minutes for Denver. He's going to fit very well with Nikola Jokic and the way that Jokic passes. But I look at this and I'm like, bro, I don't think they're going to be as good as people think. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.